Welcome to Celebrity Reports, the place where we dive deep into the fascinating world of celebrities and uncover the stories behind the headlines. At 78, Emmylou Harris finally speaks up about John Denver, and her reflections have sparked both nostalgia and renewed curiosity about two of the most beloved figures in American music. Harris, with her silver hair and timeless voice, remains a legend in country and folk circles, while Denver, who left the world far too soon, continues to be remembered for his heartfelt songs about love, nature, and the human spirit. Harris and Denver's paths crossed during the peak of their careers in the 1970s. Both artists had a passion for authenticity in music, and though their sounds were distinct, Denver leaning more toward folk pop and Harris toward country and Americana, their artistry carried a similar sincerity. Their voices, when paired together on stage, created a harmony that seemed effortless. One such collaboration that fans still talk about was their performance of Take Me Home, Country Roads at a benefit concert in the late 70s. Harris admitted in her recent reflections that the moment was one of the highlights of her career, not just because of the song, but because of the deep musical connection she felt with Denver. Despite the chemistry they displayed on stage, Harris revealed that their off-stage relationship was more complicated. Both were perfectionists in their own ways, and sometimes their creative visions clashed. Denver, known for his optimism and strong opinions about environmental and social issues, would occasionally challenge Harris to embrace topics she wasn't fully comfortable addressing in her music. Harris, on the other hand, was deeply devoted to preserving the roots of country and folk traditions, and she sometimes felt that Denver's style leaned too commercial. These differences never turned into feuds, but they created a creative distance that prevented them from collaborating as extensively as fans might have hoped. Still, Harris shared that she always admired Denver's commitment to his craft and his values. She recalled conversations with him where he spoke passionately about preserving natural landscapes, protecting wildlife, and using his platform to inspire change. At the time, Harris admitted she didn't fully realize how forward-thinking he was, but looking back, she sees how ahead of his time he really was. She described Denver as a gentle force of nature, someone who combined kindness with conviction in a way that left a lasting impression on everyone who knew him. One of the most touching parts of Harris's reflection was when she spoke about the last time she saw Denver. It was at a gathering in the early 90s, where several musicians came together to honor folk and country traditions. She remembered Denver being in high spirits, cracking jokes, and pulling out his guitar to lead an impromptu sing-along. Harris said she had no idea it would be the final time they shared a stage, but in hindsight, she cherishes the memory as a reminder of the joy he always brought to those around him. When asked why she had stayed relatively quiet about her connection to Denver over the years, Harris explained that it was partly because his passing was so difficult for her to process. She felt that anything she said publicly might not do justice to the depth of his influence. Now, at 78, she feels more at peace with sharing her memories, seeing it as a way to honor his legacy while reminding audiences of the purity of his music. Harris also touched on how Denver's songs continue to resonate with new generations. She mentioned seeing young fans at her shows who know his lyrics word for word, despite being born long after his peak years. To her, this proves that music with honesty and heart never fades. She believes that Denver's voice remains an essential part of America's musical heritage, standing alongside other greats who shaped the culture of the 20th century. In the end, Harris's words paint a picture not of a flawless friendship, but of a meaningful connection rooted in respect, admiration, and the shared struggle of staying true to one's art. At 78, she has nothing left to prove, and her openness offers fans a rare glimpse into the bond between two icons whose music continues to inspire. While their collaborations may have been limited, the echoes of their voices together still remind us of a golden era in music, one where sincerity was the most important instrument of all.